trucking divas and those inspired to be trucking divas. What up to all my road warriors out there? Today I'm going to be sharing a video that I actually made a few weeks ago. I just was contemplating on publishing it, but I have made a decision that it's my calling and it's something that I'm passionate about in helping women. So sometimes when you say you want to help people, you have to expose parts of yourself. So you're going to get to know me a little bit better. You're going to learn a little bit more about my background. Some things are hard for me to share, but I promise you that when you see this, you'll understand why I'm so passionate. Hopefully nothing that I say is going to offend anybody, because I'm talking about my personal stuff. This may or may not be your story. I don't know. But honestly, I want you ladies to take a different approach to being in this industry. I've met so many awesome women drivers, but I've also met spoiled, snooty, cocky women who have no respect for themselves. And I'm not trying to say that I'm perfect, because you are going to hear some choices that I made that weren't so great. So men, this is not really for you, but if you can learn something from this, hey, feel free to watch it. This will probably be a two-parter. And I just want to thank you. Hopefully I won't be judged too much for sharing my truth, but it is what it is. If I can help you by sharing my truth, then I've done my job for today. You guys take care and have a blessed, wonderful day. Bye-bye. Okay, ladies, what I really wanted to talk to you about is my story. I kind of want to tell you my background for where I came from in this industry. I had a little more extra time here at Pepsi because they're taking so long, but I'm not mad. Anyway, I kind of want to give you a little bit of background as to how I ended up in this industry, and just touching a little bit on things that you may be going through. I don't know you personally. You're either my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, or my YouTube friend. But we're going to get to know each other, because I think it's important for you to understand that as much as I talk about this industry because I love it so much, I also have to tell you there's a story behind it, and everybody has a story. My whole goal in setting up the YouTube page was to really be a blessing to women drivers. So when you say you want to be a blessing to others, that involves telling some truth. Truth will set you free, people. But I'm just going to tell you, when I first started truck driving, I was 24 years old. I was married to someone that I loved dearly, but he had a drug problem. And because of his drug problem, my family became homeless. My kids ended up going to stay with his mom for a little over a year, and me and him ended up moving in with his father and his stepmother. And it really wasn't the ideal situation. So I wasn't homeless like I didn't have anywhere to stay, but I was homeless in that I didn't have a place to call my own. Hear me right now, I'm not bashing on him. We were both young. We made a lot of poor choices. You know, I was a teen mom. That's a whole nother story in itself. But as a result of his drug problem, we ended up staying with his dad and his stepmother. But on one of his binges, he left me there at their house for 2 weeks. Right after I finished truck driving school and I was waiting on my first job to begin. I had no money. Literally all I had was the clothes on my back. And my job was about to start, and he didn't even make it back to his father's house before I could even get a chance to, you know, say bon voyage or something. I left Sacramento, went to Stockton with some chicken that I had fried up, and I didn't know how I was going to get back and forth to this job. I didn't know what my situation was going to be. I just knew that I had to make it, and I had to make it for my kids. Somebody in the family had to be responsible. So the reason I'm telling you guys this is because some of you ladies are going to be going through some things, whether it's in your family life, your financial life, maybe it's your job, it's on the edge, the company is about to shut down, and you're wondering where your next paycheck is going to come from. Back up, slow down. It's going to be all right. I promise you. If I could stand here and talk to you 22 years later after I went through that, I promise you it's going to be okay. You just have to trust in a higher source, and that source for me is God. I'm very thankful that I had an ex-mother-in-law who was willing to take all 4 of my daughters and just take care of them and give me the fresh start I needed to come into this industry. Now, I don't know what's going on with you. Maybe your husband's about to leave you, your kids are acting up, you're trying to be on road doing a job to provide for your family, and maybe you've got family members who are watching your kids and your kids are just out of control. I don't know what your situation is, but I'm just here to tell you that you can overcome it. I got to that first job, and for the first 2 days I slept inside of a truck. I drove for Pinella Trucking in Stockton, and the trucks that we drove were cab overs and they had sleepers. So the first 2 days I slept in a truck. All I had was, like I said, the clothes on my back, a few extra changing clothes, and just struggling. Well, there was a lady that worked for the company. Her name was Marge, and this is another reason why I made it my mission to start helping women drivers just by doing these YouTubes. Marge was awesome. She was not large Marge like you would think. She was a tiny little lady. She worked for Pinella every season hauling tomatoes, and this year she brought her motorhome to stay on the yard. She heard that I had been sleeping in my truck. She found me, gave me a place to stay, and that entire first summer I was able to work, collect enough money to get my finances together, find a place for me and my kids. In the meantime, I started a whole nother relationship. Just a lot of things began to go positive, but it all started with that first lady who helped me. Throughout the years, I've had several trucking jobs, so I've never been with like one company for a long term. I've been a FedEx driver, I've been a FedEx ground driver, I was a FedEx freight driver before they became one company. I worked for a company called CarQuest. I worked for another company called 2 Count. Right now, I also work for Cal Sierra Express, Jackmar, and now I am working for an agency called Road Dog Drivers. But here's what I wanted to say. Even in the midst of no hope, there is always hope. You're going to be fine. Don't give up on your career just because you got the wrong trainer. I've had that situation too, where I've had a trainer who just made all kinds of gestures towards me as a woman that were disrespectful. I've had dispatchers hit on me, and not the good ones. You know who you are if you're watching. You're good, Todd. But I've had some really good dispatchers and really great people throughout the 22 years that I've had the pleasure of working with. Okay, guys, this is the end of part 1 of this message. Stay tuned for part 2. Bye-bye.